Hello, folks, and welcome to the Mentality of UX. My name is Frank Variale. You may know this already. And today I wanted to look at a few things in terms of um, basically the job market and what my predictions are, what will happen, and most importantly, what you can do when you're starting out or even just maybe had a bit of a bad luck and got let go from your job. And what can you do to maybe keep in line with current trends in the UX world or UI world, and how can you navigate it? First off, you could ask me, Frank, well, you never actually had a proper UX position in a big company. Well, that's fair enough. I think that's a fair assessment of my situation, because it's the truth. But then I am doing a lot of freelance work, projects here and there for people, for just businesses that are starting up, not even necessarily technically what you would call a startup, like a tech company, but even like a small bakery or a small shop that would just want their work to get put out there and have a nicely designed, well-designed application or online website in order to attract people. Which leads me to the whole point: what can you do in these times? So you know my LinkedIn page here, as you can see, I'm Frank Gench Variale. That's my full name. If you guys want to follow me on this LinkedIn and just get to know me better, you're more than welcome to follow me. I will definitely get in connection with you. So here I made a lot of posts here a while ago. Well, not too long ago, 2 days ago, what you can do in this situation. And I would just want to elaborate on these. So navigating the downturn in the job market, especially in a competitive fields like development, UX, and IT, can be challenging. Here are some strategies to consider, and I hope you fully embrace these tactics. It helped me to get a few contracts in even such turbulent times. So basically, I never had a formal UX job in a big company where I was a full-time employee. As I said, I had a few freelance jobs. And before I got these freelance jobs, I utilized these tactics, and I feel it helped me as well. And what to keep in mind, folks, is that this is not just for juniors, okay? This is not just for people who are starting out or have less than a year or 2 years experience. It's for everyone, because I know a lot of people are being let go and are above the 4-year mark. They could be mid-years or even get to the senior category, although that depends on the field you're getting to. But regardless, you can get to these categories and you can still struggle to find a job. And it's just because and it will even look harder for them, because back before COVID, before they joined the field, it was so easy to get a job within the IT sector, because there was such thing as virtual currency. People had a lot of there was a lot of what we call pump and dumps, and in this field, where a lot of currency just went through the roof. That for some reason, a lot of startups were just firing up. A lot of people started making applications, and people needed designers and coders and front-end developers, back-end developers. And these people who joined the IT sector back in 2017, 18, and up till 19, just before COVID, they basically could do it without even having a proper portfolio. I know this from the horse's mouth. They told me this straight away. And they said that they didn't even need a portfolio. In fact, they only started getting portfolios done when they got let go from their job, that is this year or last year. 2 senior UX designers told me this. So just a perspective on how easy it was back then to how difficult it is now. And my theory is why it's so difficult is because, one, AI. So all the big companies need to understand how they can incorporate AI into their companies, and how many UX designers they need, how many front-end developers they need. So we're waiting for that to smooth out. The economy is in a general downturn, so not as much startups. People are not going to invest in new developments if they can just maintain their old ones for a cheaper price. And bottom line is, a lot of people during COVID were off for months at a time. They didn't know what to do, so they all went into these basically getting these qualifications for cheap and real fast, which involved IT, and probably millions done it. and the market just became oversaturated. But anyway, let's see what you can do. I still would maintain that it's still worth going into this field because everything needs a correction, and when the correction finally smooths out, we all know exactly how many people we need, and there's always going to be new startups, there's always going to be new niches in these fields that are going to be needed. So let's see what we can do. So undertake free projects. Yeah, so as I was saying, before I got some paid gigs, I would undertake free projects for friends, family, even for a few charities. I've done a few projects, UI, UX work, maybe just do research for them that they didn't want to do, such as competitive analysis, stuff like that. And it's important because it shows that you're willing to go above and beyond. That's not just paid work, and your skills improve. So I think this is a very good thing to show on your portfolio. Enhance your portfolio. Guys, everything is marketing, like it or not. As I said before, people back 4 or 5 years ago didn't even need to know this. All they needed to have was have a decent CV. And I know this for a fact because I remember 4 or 5 years ago during the summer, I got into a very nice company at ExxonMobil as a customer representative in 2 months after graduating university. And ExxonMobil is one of the biggest companies in the world, and I had a really good job from there in Hungary during the summer when HR is allegedly all at holidays. So yes, so now we have to market our portfolio really well. Even if your projects on your portfolio are not the best or you think they could do better, it's all about marketing. Sell it, get the good colors, get the good titles, market it on LinkedIn, wherever you can to spread that you have a good portfolio. Specialize in face value. So tailor your portfolio so it looks good to specific sectors. So if you're applying to say an employer or someone or a freelance or someone who needs mobile application done, tailor it to that. Also make a project based on UI, research, UX, but specialize in either design or research, and then you can branch off into other things as well, but specialize. Okay, so basically specialize in one field, either design or research, and then do above everything so the prospective future employer will see that you can do everything. Do maybe a PC project, do maybe an iPhone for Android or for iOS. So do above everything, but make it nice and clean and pleasing to the eye. Engage in continuous learning. Guys, go on such things as daily UI, see what the current trends are. Go on the Figma community to see what the current trends are. When you're doing a project, compare what you would do by yourself to other professionals out there. See how other websites are looking, that are up to date, and basically just copy them. That was a bit of an interesting pill for me to swallow, because I thought, well, why would I want to copy someone else if I did a research and I think that based on my research I can make a very good design. It's simple. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. One of the best and biggest critiques I got from a senior UX designer, actually from a place called ADP List, where basically UX designers go with who will give you free advice. That's ADP List. It's very good. I would recommend that. You can have free meetings with someone and they will give you advice on your portfolio. And one of the best advice I got is just copy, not copy everything, but copy the styles, the current UI that's in, because especially if you're starting out, because you want to sell your skills. Embrace critique. I got my work torn apart a good few times. I thought I was doing a good few jobs. I'm still learning UI. I'm good at UX because UX is everything from research to analysis to UI and to development. I'm very good at the research part and analysis because that's what I've done at university. I use them as skills in different jobs throughout my life already. I have a few years behind me in that. The UI I still have to work on. So when someone told me that my UI is not good, I tore it apart, and then they emphasized that that's what employers are looking for. It was a hard pill to swallow, but look, if someone's willing to give you free advice, then just take it and be happy to give it, so embrace it. Avoid excessive comparisons. Yes, don't compare yourself too much to others, especially if they've been in the job for a good while. It's not good for your mental stuff. I don't think it's very good to always, in any field, whether it be the gym, UX, UI, work, finances. It's good to look up to someone and to aim, get a ballpark of where you want to be, but don't over compare yourself. You all have different backgrounds, start at different places. Be patient. We're in a downturn. someone told me, oh, here's research, look at the research, there's lots of jobs. Yeah, research sometimes doesn't equal the real world, especially if you're starting out. And I can believe there's a lot of jobs out there, but those lot of jobs could be just for senior UI and UX designers who already had a job, got let go, and then now people are looking for UX designers more on the cheap. They will hire them. I'm sure there's plenty of jobs for them, but for people who don't have much to show or struggling or you just got let go, I don't think that research matches reality. And obviously it also depends who done the research. It could be a company or it could be a training provider who wants people to join their training. So their incentive is to make sure that people are confident that they will get a job, otherwise people wouldn't join them. So be patient. I think there will be a correction and eventually people will start hiring again. They will start hiring again, but don't get frustrated. I know I get frustrated every day, but you just have to be patient because you'll find yourself 8 months, a year into the job that you've done a lot of projects, free projects, a lot of side hustles here and there. And your portfolio is noticeably improving, your skills are noticeably improving, and you may think, well, why don't I still have a job? And then you'll look around and see, especially if you go networking, you'll come across people say, well, we laid off 30% of our staff. Then you go to another friend, oh, I just been laid off. Then you go to another friend, I've been laid off. And then that's when you can say, well, it's not me that's the problem per se. I can always improve, but in general, it's a hard time. Do not give up after a lot of work. You can even look into other jobs, completely different jobs. But I would say don't let all the stuff that you built up so far in your IT, that you work towards so far, don't let that go because of a hard downturn. In fact, keep going. Show that you're willing to keep going and do free stuff, even when it's harder. And then when eventually it will come time for an interview or to get hired, do your employers will notice that. It doesn't seem like that right now. I know it's hard for me because I would want a more stable job at the moment as well, with a company rather than just finding freelance works here and there and getting money from that, which is okay, but obviously there's no job security. So, and I know that working with a company, you get continuous basically learning and training, because there's always someone above you who will correct you at every stage, rather than everything's a bit harder when you're freelance. Even the learning, you do learn and you do make money if you really want, but everything is a bit harder. The one thing that the freelance probably teaches you better than a company is probably being more crafty, being more good at marketing, standing out from the crowd. And I think you just have more of a passion to get where you're going, so you have that burn in you to just be better. Whereas obviously if you get yourself into a company and without job security, you will you will automatically feel more safe and maybe not work as hard because you get comfortable, which is fine. But my point being is that in order to get the comfortable position, we have to be patient, especially in these downturns. So folks, this has been the mentality of UX. This is my LinkedIn portfolio. I've also LinkedIn channel. I've also put a few links at the bottom of this video so you can get in contact with me if you wish. And yeah, just keep these in mind. You can read through these at your own leisure. And find me if you want as well. You can always write to me as well. Thank you very much for joining me.